Hello everyone, welcome to my Wushu class. My name is Vasco and I want to help you improve your Wushu. I know, you've seen dozens of back sweep tutorials out there, and let me guess, they all say the same thing, right? I know, because I've seen them. The thing is, a lot of people still can't execute the HousaoTui even though they perform all those steps from the tutorials. And that got me thinking, there must be something else that those videos are missing, right? First, let's take a look at what are they talking about. You usually start from a lower position, like gombu. Some people will tell you to swing with your arms to help the rotation. That's optional. Some people even let their body rotate a little more and raise their heel to get even more range when starting the rotation. And that's okay. I find this quite helpful in the beginning. Then you have to drop to full squat on your left leg as you rotate your body about 180 degrees and support your hands on the floor. Then you sweep with the right leg, keeping your foot on the floor and taking your hands off the ground. In the end, you finish with gombu or pubu or anything else. These are probably the steps you got tired of watching in other tutorials. And they might be helpful for those who are trying for the first time, but for the ones that are already struggling to perform the sweep, these aren't really helpful. I'm gonna start by pointing the three most common problems I see. And the first one is the lack of flexibility. I still see a lot of people who are unable to full squat on the left leg while keeping their right leg straight. While I think that you should improve your flexibility first, it is possible to perform the HousaoTui without all that flexibility. And I'm going to tell you how in a minute. The second problem ruining your sweep is the sweeping foot. You can't just relax your right foot, otherwise it will stop your rotation short by creating unnecessary friction in the ground. Instead, you have to make sure that only your sole is touching the floor. The third problem is also related to the right foot, but it has to do with its elevation in the beginning. For competition purposes, you have to keep your right foot, your sweeping foot, in contact with the floor the whole time. But when you start the rotation, it will leave the floor even if just for a little. Well, ideally it is just a little, but a lot of people lift it too much so that when it falls to the ground it bears too much weight and then it will stop your rotation. And now we get to the most important thing about the HousaoTui that no one else is talking about, and that in this movement it's all about balance. It's all about shifting your mass center, okay? So when you put your hands on the floor, what you're doing is you're actually taking the weight off your right leg so that you don't stop that momentum from the rotation you started in the beginning. Okay, so basically you start your rotation as you squat, okay? And then as you squat, you're already transferring the weight from the right leg into your hands. And as they touch the ground, your right leg is able to lift a little so that it won't stop the momentum that you got from the beginning. And then you take your hands off the ground, because if you don't, you won't be able to finish your rotation. And as you do that, you're actually pushing the floor so that your body comes back to a vertical position and that your weight starts shifting back to its original position. Now, this is the most important thing, okay? Throughout the whole movement, your mass center is never static in one spot, okay? In the beginning, your body is supported by both legs. Your weight is supported by both legs. And as you start the movement, your weight goes to your hands and then it will finish again in the middle of both legs with your weight supported by both legs. Okay? Now, the thing is, if you take too long to shift your weight back to your body center, then you will rotate too much, and you will only stop rotating when your momentum fades away. And that's not what you want either. You want to stop your rotation exactly where you want. Okay? And if you bring your weight or your mass center back to its original position too soon, it will stop your rotation short. If you get this, you don't even need all that flexibility to full squat on your left leg. Okay, it won't look pretty, but it won't stop your rotation short. In summary, we saw 3 major mistakes that will stop you from performing the HousaoTui. The first one was the lack of flexibility. The second was letting your sweeping foot relaxed. The third one was lifting it too much from the ground. And then I explained the most important thing about the HousaoTui, the way your mass center moves during the movement. And that's it for today, everyone. Let me know if you think this was helpful in the comment section below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and share, subscribe to get the notifications. I have a lot of great stuff coming up. So stay tuned and ZaiJian.